Hello and how are you? Hey friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, you know what? Today's Saturday, December the 26th, 2020. Got a happy birthday shout out going out to Karen Leach. So, without further ado, here's a birthday song especially for you. Hey Karen, I heard it's your birthday today. So happy birthday, I'ma say. You're 1 more year older today. So happy birthday to you, I say. I said, hey Karen, I heard it's your birthday today. So happy birthday, I'ma say. That's another trip around the sun that you've made. So happy birthday to you, I say. And many more. Ya cha 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 cha. How about a shout out to my friends, the Facebook friend like people, the folks that like the Shen Show and or love the Shen Show. All right, how about some folks going out to Jamie O'Driscoll, Martin Kelly, Steve Clary, Leonie Perez Fernandez, Mike Shane, Whitney Doe, Gary R. Webb, Don Rhodes, Tina Clee Ashbrook, Cindy Welch, and well, all of my family, my mother, my daddy, my mommy, my daughter, my ex-wife, uh, folks that watch the show and occasionally will hit the like button. Lisa Foster, let's see who all else. Oh, Gribble Snap over there on YouTube. He's watching all the time. Uh, always a say hey to old Gribble Snap. And then I got my Pokey Pals. That's right, my Facebook Pokey Pals. Those are the folks that poke me, and I poke 'em back. Amen to that. Pokey Pals are Amanda Sue Little and Dana Jennings. Sorry, Karen Sanders a lot too. Uh, so anyway, these are my Pokey Pals. Okie dokie. Hey, that being said, it looks like it's time to do the weather forecast. That's right, the weather forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. The remainder of the day is going to be some clouds with low temperatures dipping down around 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are south-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, December the 27th, uh, intervals of clouds and sunshine in the morning, with more clouds for later in the day. Highs around 58 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south to southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Few clouds from time to time, lower temperatures getting down to around 28 degrees Fahrenheit with winds west to northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then Monday, December the 28th, sunshine and clouds mixed with high temperatures around 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies during the evening, followed by mostly cloudy skies overnight. Lows around 26 degrees Fahrenheit, and winds are going to be east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then how about Tuesday, the 29th of December? Cloudy skies, highs around 37 degrees Fahrenheit, with winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy with occasional showers late in the day. Late in the day? How about late at night? And then low temperatures around 34 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south to southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. And then Wednesday, December the 30th, rain with highs around 52 degrees temperature. Winds south to southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chances of muscle spasms 80%. Rainfall around a half inch. Chances of rain 80%. How about rain and snow in the evening, transitioning into snow overnight? Lows around 28 degrees Fahrenheit, with winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of precipitation 60%. That's a 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 3 inches of snow is expected. Whoa. Looks like I might be calling my mammy and my pappy to go pick up my caregiver. Yep, on Wednesday, on the 30th, on day of 4th, New Year's Eve. Snow showers on that particular day. Uh, Thursday, December the 31st, snow showers with high temperatures around 41 degrees Fahrenheit, north to northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of snow 50%, 1 to 3 inches of snow is expected. Well, that makes 6 inches of snow already. Occasional snow showers overnight with lows around 24 degrees Fahrenheit and winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of snow 40%, snowfall around 1 inch. So that's 7 inches. 7 inches of snow going to be dumped out on St. Charles all in one day. Yowza, yowza, yowza. That's not good. Not good at all. Alrighty, hey, I got a compliment, mint, on my singing abilities, which I do appreciate because, because I've got one person that, an old Navy buddy of mine, tells me all the time, don't sing. Now I have another person, an old Navy buddy of mine, ha ha ha, who tells me, do sing. Said you got it all, man. Plus, I got other friends that tell me to sing too. So there. You know who you are that I'm talking to specifically. Don't sing. Don't sing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You put your cotton balls in your ears if you don't want to hear me singing. I know you look pretty goofy walking around the shop with your fingers in your ears. But hey, any old way. I am gonna sing. I am going to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. Oh, I love, I love to sing. How about mm, gotta hit that button. How about what? What is the name of that song? Um, Song lyrics, just sing. That ain't it. That's just saying. Song lyrics, just sing. Scene. Song lyrics, sing out loud, sing out strong. I don't know what they call it. Don't even, oh, it's called Sing. The song is called Sing, and it wasn't a guy that gave it to me because it was seeing. It gave me seeing, and it gave me, uh, I don't know, nothing, nothing that came up with the word sing in it. Till I got it out this way, and this way, here it goes. Sing, sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad, sing of happy, not sad, sing, sing a song, make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing, sing a song, sing, Sing a song, let the world sing along, sing of love there could be. Sing for you and sing for me. Sing, sing a song, make it simple. To last your whole life long. Don't worry if it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing, sing a song. Just sing, sing a song. Just sing, sing a song. Okay. Da 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 dee dee da ba 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 da da ba ba. Trying to think of some other songs that I'm trying to find. Uh, uh, do dooby dooby doo dooby dooby boop. Let's see. There's got to be something else. Okay, let's see. We're gonna move on to another song. How about something that's kind of quick and kind of fast and kind of. How about Charlie Daniels? I think it's Charlie Daniels. Song lyrics: Uneasy Rider. Charlie Daniels Band, sure enough. Well, I was taking a trip on down to L.A., tooling along in my Chevrolet, toking a number and digging on the radio. Well, just as I crossed that Mississippi line, I heard that highway starting to whine, and I knew that that left rear tire was about to go. Well, the spur was flat, and I got uptight 'cause there wasn't a feeling station in a sight. So I just limped on down the shoulder on the rim. Well, I went as far as I could, and when I saw stopped that car, it was right in front of this little bar, a kind of redneck joint called the Dewdrop Inn. Well, I stuffed my hair up under my hat, and I told the bartender that I had a flat, and I would be if he'd be kind enough to give me change for one. Well, there was one thing I was sure proud to see that there wasn't a soul in the place except for him and me, and well, he just looked disgusted and pointed towards the telephone. Well, I called up the station down the road a ways, and he said he wasn't very busy today, and so he could have somebody there in just about 10 minutes or so. Well, he said, now you just stay right where you're at, and you don't bother. And I didn't bother telling the feller I didn't have no place else to go. But I just ordered up a beer and sat down at the bar, and when some guy walked in and said, "Who owns this car with the peace sign, some mag wheels, and four on the floor?" Well, he looked at me and I darn near died, and I decided I'd just wait outside. So I laid $1 on the bar and headed for the door. Well, just as I was, thought I'd get out of there with my skin, these five big dudes come strolling in with this one old drunk chick and some feller with green teeth. And I was almost to the door when the biggest one said, "You tip your hat to this lady, son." And when I did, that hair fell all out from underneath. Well, now the last thing I wanted was to get in a fight in Jackson, Mississippi on a Saturday night, especially when there was three of them and only one of me. Well, they all started laughing, and I felt kind of sick, and I didn't know but I'd better think of something pretty darn quick. So I just reached out and kicked old Green Teeth right in the knee. He let out a yell that would curl your hair, but before he could make a move, I grabbed me a chair and I said, "Watch him, folks, 'cause he's a fairly dangerous man." Well, you might not know it, but this man's a spy. He's an undercover agent for the FBI, and he's been sent down here to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan. Well, he was still bent over and a hollering and a holding on to his knee, but everyone else was a listening to me, and I laid her on thicker and heavier as I went. I said, "Would you believe it, man? This man's gone as far as to tearing the Wallace stickers off the bumpers of cars, and he voted for George McGovern for president. Well, he's a friend of them long-haired, tippy type of pink old fags. I bet you he's even got a commie flag tacked up on the wall inside of his garage. Well, he's a snake in the grass, I tell you guys, and he may look dumb, but that's just a disguise. He's a mastermind in the ways of espionage." Well, they all started looking real suspicious at him, and he jumped up and started and says, "Now, wait a minute, Jim. You know he's lying. I've been living here all of my life. I'm a faithful father of Brother John Birch, and I belong to the Antioch Baptist Church, and I ain't even got a garage. You can call home and ask my wife." Well, then he started saying something about the way I was dressed, but I didn't hang around to hear the rest 'cause I was too busy moving and hoping I didn't run out of luck. And when I hit the ground, I was making tracks, and they was just taking my car down off of the jacks, so I threw the man at 20 and jumped in and fired that mother up. Well, Mario and Andretti would have sure been proud of the way I was moving when I passed that crowd and come on out and the door and heading towards me in a trot. And I guess I should have gone ahead and run, but somehow I couldn't resist the fun of just chasing them once around the old parking lot. Well, they headed for their cars, but I hit the gas and I spun around and headed them off at the pass. And well, I was slinging gravel and putting a ton of dust in the air. Well, I had them all stepping and fetching like their hair was on fire and the butts was a catching, but I figured I ought to go ahead and split before the cops got there. Well, when I hit the road, I was really wheeling. I had a gravel flying and a rubber squealing, and I didn't slow down till I was almost to Arkansas. I think I'm gonna reroute my trip, and I wonder if anybody would think I flipped if I went to L.A. via Omaha. That's Easy Rider. Uneasy Rider, not Easy Rider. Mm, 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 mm. Well, I'll tell you, that was a difficult one to do because, well, my mouth got dry. Hey, get off of me. Get off of me. Get off. Had a wire caught up in my fingers. Could have yanked my headset right off in my head. Sure enough, could have done it. What was the other song I was going to sing because I just thought about it when I was singing that thing? It had something to do with other stuff, but I ain't going to do it because I just remembered it's a fast one. I think I will do Phantom 309 though. How's that sound? Anybody ready for it? Phantom 309? Alright. It's Red Soul Band. Song lyrics Phantom 309. Was out on the West Coast trying to make a buck, and things didn't work out, and I was down on my luck. Got tired of roaming and bumming around, so I thumbed it back east towards my hometown. Made a lot of miles the first 2 days, and I figured I'd be home in a week if my luck held out this way. But the third night, I got stranded way out of town. At a cold, lonely crossroads, rain was pouring down. Well, I was hungry and freezing, done caught a chill when the lights of a big rig topped the hill. Well, I sure was glad to hear them air brakes come on, and I climbed in, and I knew that cab where I'd be nice and warm. Well, at the wheel sat a big man, and he weighed about 210, and he stuck out his hand and said with a grin, "Big Joe's the name," and I told him mine, and he said the name of the rig is the Phantom 309. I asked him why he called his rig such a name, and he said, "Son, this old Mac can put 'em all to shame. There ain't a driver or a rig a runnin' any line that ain't seen nothing but the taillights of the Phantom 309. Well, we rode and talked the better part of the night, and when the lights of a truck stop came into sight, he said, "Well, I'm sorry, son, this is as far as you go, 'cause I gotta make a turn just up the road." Well, he tossed me a dime, and he pulled her into low, and he says, "Have yourself a cup on old Big Joe." When Joe and his rig were out of out in the night, in nothing flat, he was clean out of sight. Well, I went inside and ordered me a cup, and told the waiter that Big Joe was setting me up, and oh, you could have heard a pin drop. And it got deathly quiet, and the waiter's face turned kind of white. Well, did I say something wrong? I said with a halfway grin. He said, "No, it happens every now and again. Every driver in here knows Big Joe. But, son, let me tell you what happened about 10 years ago. At the crossroads tonight where you flagged him down, there was a busload of kids coming from town. And where they were right in the middle when Big Joe topped that hill. And it could have been a slaughter, but he turned his wheel. Well, Joe lost control and went into a skid and gave his life to save that bunch of kids. And there at the crossroads was the end of the line for Big Joe and Phantom 309. But every now and then some hiker will come by, and just like you, Big Joe will give 'em a ride. And here, have another cup and forget about the dime. Just keep it as a souvenir from Big Joe and the Phantom 309. There you go. Hey, that was that. How about story time for the kids? That's right. It's the TV Grandpa. Time to tell you a story, and we're gonna jump back into Hans Christian Andersen. Hans Christian Andersen. Telling fairy tales. Oh, there are some fairy tales, tales of the fairiness of the land. Actually, I I'm gonna do a Rumpelstiltskin, which I do believe is the Brothers Grimm instead. That's what we're gonna do. Rumpelstiltskin. Story lyrics. Rumpelstiltskin. I said story lyrics, not Rumpelstiltskin lyrics. When paint printing a song will start, no, fairy tale Rumpelstiltskin. What is the fairy tale Rumpelstiltskin? I don't want to go through Wikipedia. Words to Rumpelstiltskin. Short story Rumpelstiltskin by the Brothers Grimm. Duh. Okay, here we go. Once there was a miller who was poor, but who had a beautiful daughter. Now it happened that he had to go and speak to the king, and in order to make himself appear important, he said to him, I have a daughter who can spin straw into gold. The king said to the miller, That is an art which pleases me well. If your daughter is as clever as you say, bring her tomorrow to my palace, and I will put her to the test. And when the girl was brought to him, he took her into a room which was quite full of straw, and gave her a spinning wheel and a reel, and said, Now set to work, and if by tomorrow morning early you have not spun this straw into gold during the night, you must die. Thereupon he himself locked the door, and left her in it alone. So there sat the poor miller's daughter, and for the life of her could not tell what to do. She had no idea how straw could be spun into gold, and she could she grew more and more frightened, until at last she began to weep. But all at once the door opened, and in came a little man, and said, Good evening, mistress, Mrs. Miller. Why are you crying so? Alas, answered the girl, I have to spin straw into gold, and I do not know how to do it. What will you give me, said the mankin, if I do it for you? My necklace, said the girl. The little man took the necklace, seated himself in front of the wheel, and whir, 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 three turns, and the reel was full, and then he put another on, and whir, 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 three times round, and the second was full. And so it went on until the morning, when all the straw was spun, and all the reels were full of gold. By daybreak the king was already there, and when he saw the gold he was astonished and delighted, but his heart became only more greedy, and he had the miller's daughter take into another room full of straw, which was much larger, and commanded her to spin that also in one night, if she valued her life. The girl knew not how to help, not now to help herself, and was crying again. And when the door opened again, and the little man appeared, she and said, What will you give me if I spin the straw into gold for you? The ring on my finger, answered the girl. The little man took the ring, and again began to turn the wheel, and by morning he had spun all the straw into gold. The king rejoiced beyond measure at the sight, but still he had not gold enough, and he had the miller's daughter taken into a still larger room full of straw, and said, You must spin this too in the course of the night, but if you succeed, You shall be my wife, even if she be a miller's daughter. Thought he, I could not find a richer wife in the whole world. And when the girl was alone, the mannikin came again for the third time and said, "What will you give me if I spin the straw for you this time also?" "I have nothing left that I could give," answered the girl. "Then promise me, if you should become queen, to give me your firstborn child." Well, who knows whether that will ever happen, thought the miller's daughter, and, not knowing how else to help herself at this strait, she promised the mannikin mm, what he wanted, and a for that at once he spun the room into gold. And when the king came in the morning and found all that he wished, he took her in marriage, and the pretty miller's daughter became a queen. A year after she brought a beautiful child into the world, and she never gave a thought of the little mannikin, but suddenly he came into her room and said, "Now give me what you promised." The queen was horror struck and offered the mannikin all the riches of the kingdom if he would leave her the child. But the mannikin said, "No, something alive is dearer to me than all the treasure in the world." Then the queen began to lament and cry. So the little mannikin pitied her. "I will give you 3 days' time," said he. "If by that time you find out my name, then shall you keep your child." So the queen thought a whole night of all the names that she had ever heard, and she sent a messenger over the country to inquire far and wide for any other names that there might be. When Mankin came the next day, she began with Casper, Malachar, Balthazar, and said all the names she knew, one after another. But to every one the little man said, "That is not my name." On the second day she had inquiries made in the neighborhood as to the names of people there, and she repeated to the mannikin the most uncommon and curious. "Perhaps your name is Shorter Ribs, or Shipshank, or Lassagig." But he always answered, "That is not my name." On the third day the messenger came back again and said, "I have not been able to find a single new name, but as I came to a high mountain at the end of the forest, where the fox and the hare bid each other good night, there I saw a little house, and before the house a fire was burning, and around about that fire quite a ridiculous little man was jumping, and he hopped upon one leg and shouted, 'Today I bake, tomorrow me brew. Tomorrow brew. Eh, The next I'll have the young queen's child. Ha! Glad I am that no one knew that Rumpelstiltskin I am styled.'" You may imagine how glad the queen was when she heard the name, and when soon afterwards the little man came in and asked, "Now, Mistress Queen, what is my name?" At first she said, "Is your name Conrad?" No. Is your name Henry? No. Perhaps your name is Rumpelstiltskin. The devil has told you that, the devil has told you that, cried the little man, and in his anger he plunged his right foot so deep into the earth that his whole leg went in, and then in rage he pulled at his left leg so hard with both hands that he tore himself in two. And that, my friends, was the end of the short story Rumpelstiltskin. And yes, it was by the Brothers Grimm. Okie dokie. Let's see. That brings us to our part of the program called Our Daily Bread. And our daily bread today is brought to you by the Bible with Briscoe 2020. The Bible with Briscoe 2020 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe will be Haggai 1 through 2 and Revelation 17. Okie dokie, today's daily bread is Who Needs Me? That would be the devotion and the scriptures and insight that will go with Who Needs Me will be 1 Kings 19, 9 through 12 and 15 through 18. 1 Kings 9 through 12 and 15 through 18. Alrighty then, let's see. Here we go. 1 Kings 19, 9 through 12. The Lord appears to Elijah, and the word of the Lord came to him. What are you doing here, Elijah? Well, he replied, I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, and torn down your altars, and put your prophets to death. With the sword I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too. The Lord said, Go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by. Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountain apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. Okay, First Kings 19, that was 15 through 18. No, that was 19, 9 through 12, and now 15 through 18. And the Lord said to him, Go back the way you came, and go to the desert of Damascus. When you get there, anoint Hazael king over Aram. Also anoint Jehu son of Nimshi king over Israel, and anoint Elisha son of Shaphat from Abel Meholah to succeed you as prophet. Jehu will put to death any who escape the sword of Hazael, and Eshel will put to death any who escape the sword of Jehu. Yet I reserve 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not bowed down to Baal, and whose mouths have not kissed him. Okay, there you have it. That was the Daily Bread portion of the program, which was brought to us today by the Bible with Briscoe 2020. The Bible with Briscoe 2020 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. So don't forget to tune in to the Bible with Briscoe 2020 so that you can get your daily reading of the Bible. All right, my friends, that's it for the Shen Show. Got one more song for you, and that would be "Well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go." Oh, I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. Oh, I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This here's been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning in to the Shen Show. And as always, you know, God loves you and so do I. So come back and see me tomorrow because, well, hey, I'll be here. And I hope that you are too.